That, of course, the deal that's brewing between IDBI Bank and LIC. In fact, we on Friday, remember, told you that LIC may look to pick up 43% stake in IDBI Bank, and post that the government has received a lot of brickbats, especially from senior Congress leader like Ahmed Patel. And now looks like the government is looking to defend its position and the proposed LIC-IDBI deal. Let me take it across to my colleague Supriya Srinath, who's joining us on the phone line for more details. Supriya?
No, so indeed, obviously, this has become a political controversy, and congratulations on the big break that you put out, Richie, there. This really has snowballed into a political controversy with everybody from the Congress to the left having a view on this deal, and a huge debate in the public domain and the public narrative being how LIC is being used to a bailout. But I think the government is out in full defense of the deal. I've been speaking to some really senior sources within the Ministry of Finance and the Government of India and the PMO, and they all believe that there's one thing needs to put out, and the one big differentiation has been that this is not an LIC investment. This is not a bailout by the LIC. This is, in fact, an LIC acquisition. LIC is looking to acquire IDBI Bank, and that is where the big differentiation is, and that's the government's biggest defense. They believe that the LIC has been in touch with the Finance Ministry and the Government of India for a while now, because LIC does not have a bank, unlike a lot of the private insurers, whether it's ICICI Pru or HDFC Standard and companies like that. They have a natural advantage because they have a bank association. LIC has been very keen on either setting up a bank of its own or has been insisting on acquiring a public sector bank. As far as IDBI is concerned, it's a good fit. Firstly, because IDBI's strategic sale, the government believes, is not going to accrue much value. There is a huge real estate asset they have. They've got buildings and towers in BKC. They've got about 1,000-odd apartments at Gulf Parade. And the government believes because the asset value realization will be very low, it works in everybody's interest for LIC to acquire. And the big difference here is this is not an investment, but an acquisition. Going forward, this is perhaps going to be called the LIC-IDBI Bank. LIC will treat it like a bank, do normal banking services from this, even expand business there. And LIC board will move IRDA and RBI for the requisite approval. So that's the big difference that's coming in from the Government of India. And truth be told, while all of us have this and all of us have criticized LIC being used for a bailout, not just by this government but previous governments as well, but if the motive here is one of acquisition and having a bank as a part of its operations, then this is perhaps not the worst way out.
You know, Supriya, a lot of, the people from the opposition, they are saying that the money of policy holders should not be used by the government at their whims and fancies to pick up stake in a bank wherein 25% of the NPAs are there out of the loan book. I mean, how is the government defending that bit?
No, I agree with you that policyholders may have certain apprehensions on this, but the IDBI strategic divestment decision was announced in the budget. So this was not a state secret that LIC will not be privatized. LIC privatization was moved. Why did the politicians and why did the same policyholders or anybody have no view on that then? Because the LIC divestment was spoken of in the union budget. It's only when IDBI divestment was only spoken about in the union budget. And the reality now is in policyholders who have policies in LIC, and I can tell you I'm one of the consumers, I also realize that LIC, unlike a private insurer, does not have a bank, and that is a strategic fit. That's what they call natural synergies with insurers and banks, and which is why LIC wants to acquire a bank. Now, if this, let's see how they deal with NPAs. Let's see how they deal with the real estate. How is that going to be sold? What kind of a share proportionately will the government get from its shareholding as far as that sale is concerned? Will that be used to retire some of its bad debt? We'll have to wait and watch. But there can be no two ways and no argument as far as the decision to acquire a bank by LIC is concerned. There can be two ways about what sort of an asset. There can be two ways about how that money will be used and all of that. But I think there can be no two ways about LIC having a bank of its own, and which is what the government's big defense is. I'm just talking I'm just being the devil's advocate here. If private insurers like an ICICI Pru and HDFC Standard have a bank and they have a natural synergy with it, should LIC have a bank? I don't think either of us will have a dispute over that. But the modus operandi can be questioned. The question really is that, the same Congress party that's criticizing IDBI and LIC deal today has turned to LIC repeatedly to bail them out in divestments or to hold markets steady and things like that. And that is what this has been used for.
Absolutely. In fact, that has snowballed into a huge political controversy, and the government now finally defending their side, saying that this is going to be an acquisition. This is not a plain investment by LIC. In fact, we also understand that the board of IDBI will be taking up this matter in its AGM in the month of August. Supriya Srinath breaking all those important details, getting us the side from the government.